everyone, it's Sherry from Turquoise Dreaming. I hope you all are having a great day. I'm here today. Welcome to my channel, by the way. I'm here today working on the ephemera for the glue books. I didn't know if I could video this part, but I was sitting here working on it and I thought, well, maybe I'll just turn on the camera and see how it goes, see if it's something, you all would want to see, and it kind of gives you a glimpse at what I'm putting into the book, the glue books or journals, and my thought process and picking out what I've picked out to put in the journals and maybe use as the little ephemera or surprise ephemera pack that I usually include with my journals. So we'll just get started. And first of all, I didn't know if I was going to make ephemera or use things from my stash, so I kind of had to think about that yesterday and overnight. I did start working on the ephemera last night because I finished the book pages, sewing in the signatures by about, I would say 2 o'clock yesterday afternoon, something like that. It took me a lot longer than I thought it would, but I did have 25 signatures to sew in. I just, was hoping it would go a little quicker, but it didn't. It took some time. But the one piece of ephemera that I did make was, and I've been working on these and had them kind of just a side little thing that I've been working on for the last couple of weeks. And that's because I just kind of was working on it here and there in my spare time, not necessarily for these books, but now I'm going to end up using them for these books. And so this is just an idea that I thought of or came up with, or maybe saw someone else do. I don't know I don't know if I came up with it or not, but what I did was I had some scrapbook paper. This is how it started. I had some scrapbook paper that I was not using because I had bought it a while ago, and then I decided I didn't really like it. It wasn't my style, if you know what I mean. I probably think most people have, done that at one time or another. You've bought some scrapbook paper and started using it and then stopped using it. And so I didn't know what to do with it. I didn't know whether to give it away in like a giveaway or do what to do with it. So I also had some older paints, like the little bottles of craft acrylic paints that you buy in the craft sections at wherever, the different Walmart or craft stores or whatever. So I had some that were getting old, and I was thinking I really just need to go and use up that paint before it dries up, or gets too old or gloppy or whatever it does when it sits around too long. So that combination of thoughts culminated in these painty papers. So I had the colors that I wanted to use up were brown and gray, I think is what I used on the base of these. So I painted all of these were scrapbook paper here. I painted all these with a base of brown or gray. And here's like scrapbook paper, but I did want to try some copy paper too. So I have some 8.5 by 11 sheets here. And this is one I've already cut up. That was, I think this was scrapbook paper. Because what I'm going to do, I didn't cut up the 8.5 by 11 because I'm going to scan these and see how they look scanned. And then print them out in color. And I'm going to come back and show you what they look like. I tried yesterday and I'm out of colored ink, but I will try that again when I get some ink and let you see how they come out as just printed from copying and scanning and copying my originals. So that's what those are for, the 8.5 by 11. And then the scrapbook paper, I'll show you what I did. So after I painted a base on both sides. So here's like one side, here's the other side that I left solid colored, and this side I have my little circles. So I painted a base, like on this side I painted this you can see the brown through the blue here, and it ended up looking really cool. I didn't know, I was kind of just playing around, just using up my paint. So the brown I did use up, and so this one had a base of brown, and then I had bought a few new colors because I didn't have any really colorful colors. So basically all the colors that the old colors I have are going to be used as my base paint. Then the blue was a new color that I had bought. I think this blue was, yeah, this is the pretty blue that I had bought. And as I was painting, I ended up not putting a solid cover of blue on here because I liked how it was turning out. It almost looked like I was painting over, well, I guess it kind of looked like a wood grain to me, especially with the brown underneath. So, you know, I kind of just did this by mistake, but I really love how it turned out. When I was doing it, I was like, that looks so cool. And then as I was using up my paints, I was getting ready to throw out the little bottles, and that gave me another idea. So it's really cool how when you craft and, you know, do art, kind of artistic things or whatever you want to call it, different ideas come into your brain. So I had the little caps here, and I just popped into my mind. I was planning on painting circles or flowers by hand, you know, just freehand. But then I noticed the little cap, and I dipped it in the paint. I got a little plastic top from a container, used it as my like palette, and I put some paint, pink and orange color. Those are some other new colors that I had bought, and I liked how they looked. I just thought they looked so cool, especially the bright pop of color over the base of brown and blue. So that's what I ended up doing. I kind of just randomly put the circles on here. I overlapped some, and I just love how it turned out. And I'll show you, I'll show you the gray base too, because this is the brown base. And then another color that I had bought new was this green. So I think this side looks like it had the gray base. Underneath you kind of can see gray right there. And then I painted green over top. So I thought, you know, I'm going to include some of these with my glue books, and then people can cut them up, tear them up, and use them however they want, make tags or, you know, drawing cards. But my idea was this is a pattern side, and my general thought was I wanted to kind of be making my own scrapbook paper, if you know what I mean, my own pattern of scrapbook paper, if that makes sense. That's just what I was thinking in my head. So this side is patterned, and this side is solid. So long story there, but let me just show you the rest. This is another brown based pattern with this is a lighter blue. See, this one was green on the back, and this one is blue on the back, blue over gray. And this is my new blue. It's really a pretty bright kind of blue. And then here is another brown based, and this one is green with this one had gray underneath. So I think they turned out really cool. And if I have any, I think I have some more scrapbook paper that I don't really care for. So I will do this again. And this paint, surprisingly, I started it yesterday morning because in the middle of sewing in my signatures, I guess that's one thing that made it take longer. But this looks like it had a gray base, I'm not sure. But a little bit different colors here on this one. And this side had a gray base with blue over. But I started painting because I thought, well, I'm going to have to I want to use these in my glue books, these books I'm making right now. And I'm going to have to let this dry all day probably, you know. So I had them already painted with the brown or gray, and they had been sitting here in my craft room waiting for me to do something. Here's one I cut up. And so I started painting them, and then as I was finishing this number of pages that I had, the first ones were already dry, so it dried really quick. And some of the paint, especially the new ones that I bought, did say quick drying. So I just finished them all right then and there because they were drying so quickly. And so it didn't, with the regular paint seemed to dry pretty quick, and then there's a quick drying. If you look on the bottle when you buy those, some of them say quick drying, and those did really dry really quickly. So I did that in my kitchen on my island, so I had room to paint. I spread out a tablecloth, you know, a plastic or a vinyl tablecloth over the counter and just knocked that out yesterday. And so now what I'm doing is I thought I would show you my little process here of putting ephemera in the journals and trying to make sure I'm all in frame here. But what I did was I was thinking overnight and yesterday about, and into this morning, what I try to imagine this with all of my books I do. What would I want if I was buying this journal? What would I want to get as ephemera in it? And I want people, when they get my journals, I just want them to be so happy and excited, you know, and just really love what I've made and what I included as the ephemera and everything. I just want them to love everything about it. So I've got my coffee here. It's still morning. So I just started pulling out stuff that I thought would be cool as, like, if you're going to use this as a glue book or a journal, things that would be cool to use, especially, you know, kind of #1 glue book, things that you can tear apart or cut apart or, you know, collage with, things like that. So that's, you know, my thought process behind everything here. Plus, this is a good size book, so it gave me an opportunity to go through and use some of the maybe bigger stuff that I don't usually use in my smaller journals. So I just went to town pulling stuff out here, and I've got the last of it here kind of all over my table, so I can go over it with you and show you what I'm doing. And I'm trying to decide whether I can do it my way or your way, but I'll try to do it your way and then turn it around if I need it. But so I had, if you remember, if you watched the videos, we put a pocket here on the inside of the covers, and I cut a little piece of my painty papers here to put in the front pocket as just a fun start to the book, and it fits right in there. And then this one, I'll probably just go through this one with you and put the ephemera in, and then the other ones I'll do off camera. But I've got stuff sitting all around me here, so like I said, just went to town, loaded up my table here with stuff I want to put in here. I don't know if it'll all fit in here, but whatever doesn't fit, then I can put in a little, you know, surprise pack, and it might not be a surprise because I'm showing it to you, but anyway, you know what I'm saying, a little ephemera pack that I include with my journals. So I put in some washi tape on some of the pages as I was working on them this morning, so that's what that is. And then we did that first pocket. This is a flip out here, so I'm just looking for pockets and, you know, tuck spots to load up with something. And I've already put some stuff in here. And I didn't put a lot of pockets in here because I wanted it to be a glue book, so you have the space and not be interrupted by pockets too much to do what somebody wanted to do or anybody wanted to do. So whatever doesn't fit in the pockets, plus I didn't want it to be alligator mouth. If you have a lot of pockets, I've found, I mean, I've done it, if you have a lot of pockets, you know, by the time you get your ephemera, sometimes your journal is twice as thick as it started it, you know, before you put ephemera in there, and it ends up being alligator mouth. So my goal was not to have alligator mouth on this one, or on these 5 books that I'm doing. So we're just looking for pockets and tuck spots. Let me see. Okay, so here I wanted to include a big piece of the painty paper. So this is a side tuck, and here's a big piece I put in this one. So that's in there. We might have to go through it again if I don't use enough of my stuff here that I have spread out, but we'll see what we can get in here in the other pockets that I haven't put anything in yet. So we'll see where they are. I'm sure there's something here. I included some magazine pages. I've got 3 magazine pages in each one because I know people like to use those for glue books, and I thought, well, so somebody gets this and they don't have a magazine, maybe they, you know, would like me to include some magazine pages. So I tried to pick out some with something, you know, this like these have food related things, and then you know, there's words and different pictures that somebody might want. So 3 magazine pages in each journal. Okay, here's a pocket here. So let's start out with something that would fit in here. So I have pulled out, I have a drawer of where I keep all of my index cards. It's a little drawer, and I have, you know, like 3x5, a lot of 3x5s in there. But then I have these bigger pieces, like this is a divider page, and this is, I think this is bigger than 4x6. It's like for a 4x6. Let me see if it has a measurement on here. No, it doesn't, but it's probably for a 4x6, you know, index card, you know, organizer. And this is the divider for those. And so I have had these in my stash for a while, and I haven't used any of them. So when I was looking for things this morning, I went through that drawer because I knew I had a lot of 4x6 things in there that I haven't used before. So let's just see if this will fit in this pocket. Yes, it will. So let me put, and it's got room for more. So let me put a couple other things. Let me see what I have here as far as 4x6 or bigger cards. I know I put some things here around me. And so yeah, here, I meant to pull out some actual index cards. I thought I did. Let me see where they are. You know, I don't see them. I have to go and grab some, unless I did. Okay, these are another type of index card that I've had in my stash, a bigger one. So I've got one of those for here, and another divider card. And my thoughts on this were, maybe someone wants to collage on these cards, and you know, that type of thing. So let me go get the index cards that I wanted, that I did not pull out yet. Yes, I've got them right here. Be right back. Okay, I just don't want to forget to get those, because I already thought of it earlier. I thought of so many things that I wanted to pull out that, you know, it's hard to remember everything. So here I'm going to put in the same pocket 2 index cards also. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things in that pocket. I think that this particular pocket fits well because of how it's designed. All those things fit in there really well, and I can move them around later if I want to. So that's that pocket. Let's see what else we have here. These are fold outs. And then here's the other side of that pocket. So let me see. Try to keep this organized so I know what I've used and what I haven't used in this book. I've got, let's see, this is a good sized pocket. So let me put something good sized in this pocket. And the other things that I have that are kind of a little bit larger, maybe I can put some in here. I have some of these are really cool luggage tags that I found at a thrift store quite a while ago now. And they say Carolina American Tours. You know, I live in North Carolina, so I sometimes end up getting a lot of things that say Carolina or North Carolina or South Carolina, or states surrounding me, even Virginia. So this is really cool because it's super thick, and I guess these were made to withstand your trip or your vacation or whatever when you put it on your luggage, because it's a super thick tag. So I'm going to put one of those in here. And then what else? Let's put in with that same pocket. Okay, this is, I don't think I've showed this to you before in any of my videos. I walked into Goodwill. This is the Goodwill. I go to, how many different Goodwills do I go to right now? I've narrowed it down to, I guess, 2 of my 2 favorites. So those are the Goodwills I go to right now. And this one I go to, I got this in my own town, Goodwill, my town here that I live in. And I went in, and I didn't find anything, and then all of a sudden I saw this postcard book in the book section, and I was like, what? Postcards? Because I love postcards, and these little books they can get quite pricey if you go on Amazon and try to buy a postcard book. they, you know, because this is not old, but it's so, I mean, just look at these pictures. Very retro looking. It says Route 66 postcards, greetings from the Mother Road. So they're, you know, they're detachable, so they're all perforated, so you can take them out. But look at these. They're so, I mean, I was like, and it was only like, I don't remember. It was only like $1 or $1.99, something like that. It was, I was like, oh my goodness. And I just ran to the register. Like, I think I was going to buy something else that day, but I hadn't picked it up and I was going to go back and get it. And then I saw these and I was like, oh my goodness, postcards. And I ran to the register and bought them and left. It's crazy. It's just crazy. But anyway, I was like, I remember getting in my car thinking, oh, I was going to get something else. Oh, well, I don't care. I just love these postcards. I got my treasure for the day. So there's just a little glimpse of what's in here, but I was just so excited when I found these. So let me tear one out. I see if I can get it out without tearing it. See how they come out, because I haven't used any of them yet. But you know, when I was going through my stash this morning, I was like, wow, these are nice and big. So I was looking for bigger things that I haven't been able to use. So I was like, you know, and my thought of, you know, what would I want when I receive this journal? I was like, if I receive this journal with one of these cool postcards in it, I would be delighted. So yeah, I pulled one out. Here's what the backs look like. And it tells about what's on the front, so that's cool. And so, yeah, I'm going to stick this one in here with the tag. Sorry to go on about it, but I was just so excited when I found those. I wanted to tell you about it. And then, let's see, I have this, I think this last week or two, I found this little pack of like scrapbook paper. Because I usually don't buy, I have a few that I have bought, but I usually don't buy the 6x6, because I can cut up my own 12 by 12 scrapbook paper easy enough into 6x6. So you know, I was like, why am I buying 6x6? I can cut up my own scrapbook paper into 6x6. So I kind of stopped buying 6x6, but this I found somewhere for 50 cents. It's called embellishment paper, 8 of each pattern, cardstock. It's cardstock too. So I thought this would be fun to include some of this for whoever gets my journals to have fun with. So I'll just pull out a couple out of here. You know, I don't know. They seem to be grouped into colors. Like here's purples, greens, and purples in the back. So I'll just pull out maybe a purple, one of each. A purple and a green would be cool, right? So let's pull out. If I can pull out, maybe I should pull the cover off. Maybe that would make it easier to get out the paper, but it's coming out okay. Okay, here we go. That one, and now let's go back to a green one. We're gonna have two different colors. Okay, that was polka dots. We've got solid green, solid purple, kind of a gingham green. Okay, so let's kind of hard to decide. I might have to pull this whole thing apart in order to get the something out of the middle, if you know what I mean. So just maybe not, I don't know. I might have to cut it apart. I just don't want to tear the okay, it came right out. I'm making it harder than I have to, apparently. Okay, so let me see if these will fit in here too. If they won't, okay, they are fitting. They are fitting. Okay, so I've got 4 things in there. Now, if it gets too fat, I might have to pull some things out and put it in the extra pack that will be included. Here's my little Scooby-Doo pocket. Let's put in here, I've got some of these in my stash. They're like a 4x6 card. They've got lines on the front. They're blank on the back. I thought this would be fun. You're supposed to color them So this can be colored, it can be cut in. What I've actually done is cut some in half when I needed them for a smaller journal. I cut some in half and made it into like a 3x4 journaling card, because you can see the designs are on the side. So if you cut it in half, you know, you have 2 journaling cards. But anyway, I'm including this one for someone to have fun with, and you can color those little pictures on the side if you want. And then the other thing I'm going to put in here is a guest check, because those are fun to collage. So we'll stick a guest check in there. And that's 2 things. That's a small pocket, so I don't want to overload that. And then we'll go on and look for the next pocket. Here's a pocket here, nice big one. So what I thought I would include, and I wasn't sure, I just pulled this out because I just got these last weekend in a stack at a yard sale here in my neighborhood. And it was a stack with a rubber band on it, and I haven't really even looked at them yet. So I don't know exactly what it's in here, but I just saw all these pretty little notepads that I thought would be cool for my journals. So let's look at the bigger one. Since this is a bigger journal, let's pick out some from these bigger notepads. So this is green. This is pretty, actually. It's green, and it has kind of just a shade of a flower here on the bottom. So that would be fun to either journal on and put on a page, or, you know, cut up in some way or tear up, you know, to collage with. So that is one of those. Here's a pretty one with a heart, and it looks like snowflakes. Really pretty. So let's tear off one of those and put that in there. Let's layer it up nice so it looks pretty in the pocket. Like that. And then this one, you see this first page has a little bit of a little bit of rips there. So we'll tear that one off. And I might include this one in this book since I'm doing this right now. And so this one is a great one to be torn up or cut up. So you can cut out this little thing here, cut out that little bit of flowers, do whatever, but I'll include an extra one too because that one's ripped. And then this one gets a little bonus as far as 2 of those pages. And I did that with some book pages in one of these too. I was putting book pages in one of these books, and some of the book pages had writing on them. And they're just, you know, printed book pages with, I think one did have a picture. But I put those in for collaging. And then, so the ones with writing, I went ahead and included them. But I included extra, so they would have some that were perfectly good with no writing. And then I thought, well, I'll go ahead and throw in these ones with writing set, because it, you know, if somebody wants to tear them up or do something with them, if they want to throw them away, that's fine. But if they want to use them, here they are, you know. So on with looking for more pockets. And we got flip outs. You know, these dictionary pages are so thick they feel like 2 pages. Here's a card I already put in here. I put a vintage card in each one. So this is this one's card. And I thought this was so cool because you can cut out this bird. Wouldn't that be pretty to cut out and put on a page? Or here's a leaf, and this is like one of those cards that is, you know, like this. So you can cut this up and cut out those leaves and just have or just put it in like this and just have a place to, you know, do what you want with there, or put a pocket behind it, whatever. So I just thought that was neat to put a card in each one, which I already did. And then so let's look for the next pocket, because I have a lot of stuff here and I need, like I said, I'm going to put the extra in a bag or an envelope to include so that somebody can do what they want with them. Let's see, but I know there's at least 1 or 2 more pockets in here. Let's see, so we did the notepads. You're kind of getting a little quick flip through here too on this one, but we're going to do, I'm probably going to end up doing a quick flip through on each one because each one turned out different, because that's just how I did it. I'm trying to see if I could tuck something right in here. Let me see what I have here. I have some receipts I wanted to put in. Maybe receipts will fit in here. These receipts are great for tearing up and making collages with. They look, especially old ones, like I have a bunch of these old receipts that I thought I might as well go ahead and include some in here because I think that might stay. Because I have so many of these that I picked up at an estate sale. If you've watched my estate sale videos, you will have seen. Maybe I'll put 2 in here, 1 on each side. So I need to use these, and I haven't used any yet. So let me see if one else is tucked. Okay, it's staying. That's cool. Okay, so there's 2 receipts, and let's go on to the next pocket. Yeah, so I need to use things. I can't just bring them home and keep them in my craft room. Okay, this is a tuck spot here. Let's see, we used the guest checks already. I've got some, let's see, I've got a pile. Let me bring my pile over here. Excuse my arm. I've got a pile here. Move my notepads that we already used. I can go back to those because, wait, let me put them down for a second here. That's my pile I'm going to show you. I've used my guest checks. So let me put those over here. My notepads, keeping organized here. Let me just show you the rest of these notepads real quick. This is kind of a show and tell too. And I haven't looked through these, so they're these say St. Jude on the top, these little ones, but I thought these were so cute because they're the perfect little size to fit in a pocket. That's why I got these little one of these little ones when I saw them. And they have the prettiest little pictures on them too. Here's a little sleigh on this one and a snowflake background. And so somebody collected all these little pads but never used them. So, you know, I was like, wow, I just loved them when I saw them. I don't care if they say St. Jude on the top. If I put them in a journal, someone can cover that up or cut it off if they wanted to. But really, I think they're super cute. A little frog on there. Santa. Nutcracker soldier guy. Another Christmassy one. This one looks like a child's drawing. I thought that was so cute with the little butterflies on the top. And this one, what is this? It says honor on the top and I can't read the bottom one, but I won't take too much time right now, but kind of patriotic looking, I guess. And then this one, oh, it has a pretty sunflower on it. That's cool. So some of them have lines, some of them don't. This one has a little butterfly on the top and that pretty flower bunch on the bottom. Flower bouquet, kind of. 2 of those. And then this one just has lines. And so nice long piece of note paper, you know, with lines on it. So that was that little bunch that I picked up at that yard sale. So this is a stack I'm trying to get over here so I can maybe include some of these in this tuck spot here. So much stuff I have around me. Okay, so this is a pack of kind of coffee dyed papers that I have. So we're not going to be able to put too much here, but maybe I can pull out we'll see if more than one fits. But we're going to pull out this. So this one will fit perfect. And I think I avocado dyed these. And this little one, it's like a receipt. Let me show you. This I received in, I think I got this in the journal I won from Aaliyah. And she put this in my journal that she sent to me that I won on her giveaway. And so I copied it, Aaliyah. I copied it because I thought it was so cool. I copied it and avocado dyed it and made some more. So you never know, right? What people will do with things you send them. And look how pretty that is in there. That just is gorgeous. So I'm putting that one in there. And I'll put one of those. I have a bunch here, see? I did a bunch of them. See what ideas you gave me, Aaliyah? Okay, so did that. And then I've got a whole, I can show you what else is in this stack. Just some little papers. I put a little trim on these and they're just These are from a composition book or whatever, and I just these look like they're coffee dyed. Put some trim on there, put them in my stash to use in my journals. And this is just some paper from a little notebook. I didn't do anything, it's naturally aged on that. I'm just looking to see what else. I want to look for something that would be cool to tear up, you know what I mean, if somebody wants to use it for collaging. So the next little bunch in this stack that I keep in this stack is, these are a bunch of like junk mail envelopes that, you know, the return envelopes and things like that that you get in mail. I coffee dyed these. And so these are in my stash. I can use them for pages or whatever. They're just ready to go. Here's one that's security envelope. That actually might be cool to include some of those. I'm trying to see how many security envelopes I have. 1, 2. Because, you know, security envelope, you can tear it up and use it for collage. It's, you know, you have the different patterns. I'm trying to see if I have 5 to include for, oh, I do. Okay. I'm going to at least include, if I can't include these in the journal, I'll put them in the scrap pack. So I'm just going to put those on the top of my envelopes that I'm sticking over here, if I can get it organized in that way. Okay, let's see. What do I want to stick in here? I think I want to put one of my, if I have enough here, ready to go. If I don't, I'm going to have to make some more. Let me see. Okay, I'll show you what else is in this stack in a second, but I want to see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I made it. Just enough. Okay, so I had some of these in my stash. They're like letters. I think these are the French letters that I coffee dyed, and then I copied them and I coffee dyed them, and then I printed them out, coffee dyed them, and the edges are torn, so they look like old letters. And I wanted to include one of these in each one because these are really fun to craft with. So that will be one of the things I include. I'm going to fold one up. There's like fold marks on here, so you can fold them up on the fold marks if you wanted to, and use them as letters. They're really cool. So that's going to go in that tuck spot. So one will go in each of the books. Okay, and that's about all that little place can hold. So let's see if there's any more, or are we done? I think there's going to be at least one more, unless I've already filled it. I filled it up. Okay, yeah, here's one that I haven't filled up. And let's see what I want to put in there. Okay, yeah, I've got something here. I was going to show you what else I have in this pile, just a stack of stuff. I've coffee dyed all these little scraps that I cut out, and I coffee dyed them. And like I have some calendar pages. That's what I'm going to pull out next, some uncoffee dyed ones, but these are coffee dyed. Like I have all of this is just coffee dyed stuff that I have cut out in one way or the other. Like these are torn edges. These are torn edges. Now things are falling out here. But yeah, let me keep that organized over there. Actually, let me put it in a different position because it's going to fall. I'm making my stack too high over there. So these are all things that I've just coffee dyed and I have ready to go for journals. Just little receipts and printouts and things like that. Mushrooms. I need more mushrooms. I think I only have a couple. 3 mushrooms. 4 mushrooms. So yeah, I was just going to show you that really quickly. So let's put in here. Actually, I wanted to include a couple of napkins too, because those are fun to collage with. And these colors of these I thought were cool. And I have enough to put one in each journal. So I'm going to pull some of these out and put right in this pocket right here. So I've got this one with, these are kind of vintage looking too. So I thought these were cool. So we can put one of these, piece of my coffee dyed. This is a coffee dye postcard. Isn't that cute? It's a paper one that I printed out and cut out. So napkin there, and then another napkin. These are also vintage looking and different, and these are cool because I thought you could cut out, like this has little things on it, and you can cut them out individually or use them as a big piece also. So that's another reason I pulled these out. I thought these were so cool. You can cut out each one or use big pieces of it. So and that's why I pulled those out. So those fit in there nicely. And let me see if I want, there's pieces of a calendar here I want to stick in too, but it could fit in here if we don't, unless we have another pocket to put things in. Let's see. So on to the next pocket. Okay, this I already have things in this envelope. This is where I put some big like book pages and a day timer page, and we'll go through that when I do my flip through. But right now we are looking for another pocket. And so I don't know. Here I put an envelope in each one. Right here in this tuck spot. This is a flashcard tuck spot. That might be it. Let me see. I think we got, oh, we have the back pocket. Okay, forgot about that one. Okay, so I have this calendar I've been using in some of my journals, and it's it's not vintage, but I've had it for a good while. So I'm just trying to use some of it. So I'm pulling things out of it to use in my journals, and I don't know, I might just randomly pick out some things, or maybe I'll look through it real quick to make see what would be good for a glue book. Here's some bikinis. Now this would be cool. Some polka dotted paper. I'll stick that one in this one. Here's some a striped piece. Let's put like 3 pieces in here from the calendar. Striped piece, and let's see. And I was going to say, if I'm showing you anything here and you say, oh, she didn't put that in the book, but I would really like to have that in my book. If you're thinking you're going to order one of these books, when you order it, or you can message me through Etsy or whatever and just say, hey, you showed this. If you still have it, oh, this is a cool one. I'm going to include this one. So that's the 3. But anyway, I was going to say that about I've been meaning to say that about all my journals. And even if I haven't shown it, if there's something that if somebody wants to order one of my journals and you say, gosh, I really wish she had some of these, whatever it is you're thinking about, you could ask me. And if I have it, I would be super glad to include it for you. You know what I mean? I try to think of everything, but maybe you have something in mind that, oh, I wish she had some of these in this journal that I'm going to get. Just let me know, and if I have it, I'll include it some way, one way or the other, either in the journal or in this extra little pack that I include. Okay, so that's the calendar. Let me get my arm over there and stick that in there. Okay, so what else do I have here to include? I'm going to show you, and these things will probably go, unless I don't want to make that too bulky there. But so we've got this kind of full of ephemera. It's not alligator mouth yet, so I think it's good right there, good to go. And I totally love it. And these just turned out so cool. But the other thing I'm going to include is some tickets. So I have these rolls of tickets here, red, yellow, and green. And I'm going to just tear off maybe 6 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 6 of these, and I'll include that. Or maybe, I don't know, I'll include some of each color though, because that'll be fun to have different colors of tickets. So I'll include some of those in the extra stuff. What else do I have here that I did not include? Okay, I thought I would include some of these because it's really fun to collage and decorate with, doilies. And this is a thing I've got a shirt or a cover up with these little circle like things that look like little doilies. So I'm going to include some of these, a piece of this, in each little pack. So like, I'll just show you some of the pieces. They're different shapes because I just tried to cut out. I tried not to, like this was on the edge. So you get kind of a partial circle and then you get some whole circles. So I'm just trying to, I tried to cut it the best way I could to, I didn't cut through any circles, just the circles that are not whole were on the edge of this fabric. So that's why there's partial circles on some of these. So I thought I would include some of this, and then I thought I would include some some cards. So I've got some flashcards here. These are old flashcards, like these are vintage, definitely vintage, and they're just little small ones. I thought they were so cute. So I'm going to include some of those. Those are old, and then there's some new ones here. Oh, I didn't mean to pull out the Christmas ones. There's some new ones I have with flowers. I thought I would include those. I didn't mean to pull out the Christmas ones. And then here's some recently that I just got. I'm trying to think of where I got these. I'm not sure. One of my thrift stores or yard sales or something. But these say they're old. They look old. I don't think they have a date on them, but they say Ripley's Believe It or Not, and I just thought that would be fun with that red and black to do something with. I'm trying to see if they have a date. I do not see a date right off, so anyway, I'm going to include a few playing cards or whatever to have fun with, and let me see what else. I thought I would include, I've had this in my stash for a while. I haven't used it, and it's called Film Sticker. And I thought this would be super fun to play with and have fun with in collaging. So I'm going to include a piece of this film strip. And you know what that looks like. It looks like a negative or whatever. And it has, well, let's open it up. I haven't even opened it yet. I haven't used it. I bought it because I thought it was really cool and I just haven't used it. So I thought, well, you know, I really just need to use this. It's got a piece of tape here. Let's see if I can get that off. Let's see if I can get that off. Yeah, there we go. So it's got patterns on it is what it is. It's got the picture here on the package too. So it's kind of got some with words, pictures, and patterns is what it has. So I don't know if this will come across in the camera, but this one has like a giraffe on it. That's like a zebra. And I've got the glare going against me too, but this one has words where the wild things are. So it's kind of like, it reminds me of maybe a zoo related, because I had a kangaroo here too. Zoo or kind of a safari type theme. So I'm going to include some of that. I thought that would be fun. There's not a whole lot of it, but I probably have enough to put in these 5 journals. And now it's unraveling. Okay, so that is another thing. Put this in the trash. And I think I have shown you, okay, another thing, 3 more things that I have here that I thought I would include is some of my Tim Holtz. That's always fun to collage with. So I have the botanical pack. I'll include some of the flowers. That'll be fun. And then I have the paper dolls. Most everybody knows what those look like, but there's, someone recently gave me some of these for, what was it for? My birthday, I think. So I have, you know, a new pack of those I can share. And then this one I've had in my stash for a while. And these are cool. This is it's called Layers, or collector pack. And this one, I don't know if I've used, I can't tell whether I've used any from here or not, but these are, I'm sure most people have seen these, but it's got just some really cool things that can be used for layering. You know how Tim Holtz is, everything's cool that he does. But in case you haven't seen it, just a little bit of a look here. of what's in here. And so, you know, some of these will go into that too. There's some really fun stuff in here. And actually, I'll probably try to include, let me see how many big pieces are in here. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's the smaller pieces right here. 5 big pieces. So perfect for these journals. I can include all these big pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'll include at least one of the little pieces. You know, not little, they're not little, but like this is 3 by 4 probably. But I'll include some of that too. And there will be more in there. I just, you know, I couldn't get everything out at the same time. I was really just getting things out here to possibly put in the pockets. And then I was going to see if I ran out of room, keep everything that I've already got now and put it in the extra pack that I include. So that's it for this video. I hope it wasn't too long. You know, I'm not going to do all 5 books on camera, but you get an idea of how my ephemera kind of thought process is going with these journals. I didn't know whether to make things or use things I already have. So a little combination of both there, and I hope you enjoyed it. And I guess the next step, I'm going to finish loading up the ephemera. I'm going to I like to have things in my Etsy shop before I do my video, because I like to, when I do my video of the flip through, I like to say they're in my shop. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's just easier for me to do it that way. So just let me know in the comments if you have any questions or anything else, and I will be glad to answer. And thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I appreciate everybody subscribing, liking, and all that. I'm just having an awesome time with my Etsy shop and with YouTube, and met so many wonderful, really super nice people, and just a little thing here at the end where I really appreciate everybody. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time with the flip through. So excited. Bye.